That's a good name for this, Waffle of Doom. Hello, internet people. Today I am going to put in some more work on the truck in which I am sitting in, my Graham's old 1994 Ford Ranger 4x4 that I am currently restoring. If you're new and you want to get caught up on these parts that make up that Ranger, up above my head is a link to a video on the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of cat eggs. As much as I want to jump on this right away, I think it's time to do some stuff with this engine. I took all of the hardware off the other engine from the junkyard truck and had all that hardware sent down to the local zinc plater. So all these bolts that I'm taking off, I'm gonna have fresh new zinc coated ones to go back on here. I did contemplate replacing the timing chain while I have the cover off. I'm gonna inspect it when I have it apart, but again, there's no reason to change this timing chain while this is apart. The truck has too low of miles on it, and it was well maintained since brand new. It doesn't burn oil, it doesn't knock, it doesn't tick, it doesn't have a single issue with it mechanically. Oh geez, there's so much dust falling out of this hardware. It's like I'm taking apart something from an Egyptian tomb. All the parts I ordered for this thing as well are all OEM Ford Motorcraft parts. So I'm trying to keep this engine as factory as possible. Okay, last bolt. And make a mess. Ugh! Oh man, that looks mint inside there. Look at that. It's fresh. That shows my grandma took good care of this thing. There's no little sediment chunks, nothing in there. That's why I'm not rebuilding this engine. It's a complete waste. It's not my daily driver. I'm not gonna put a ton of miles on this thing, and it's given me zero issues so far, and there's no signs of it needing anything other than routine scheduled maintenance, which I'm pretty sure if I look in the book, this thing's probably got a 90K service that is due in 2,000 miles. So I have two of these lower intake plenums. This is the one off the parts truck. It's visually in a little bit better shape. I already cleaned the inside of the intake runners a bit, got most of the gunk out of there, but it's not perfect. Luckily, I have two of them, so I can try some things on one, try to make it look good, and if I fuck it up, I got a spare. With that said, let's try to fuck some stuff up. While this soda blast shouldn't be enough to ruin the machine surfaces on here, just for test purposes until I know what I'm working with, I'm gonna use some foil tape and tape those areas off. Wow, it's pretty simple compared to the other one. Should be a lot easier to fill up. The other one's a pain. It's way easier to fill up. Way easier. I'm gonna do this quite more often, but... So here's my current setup. I'm borrowing this Honda 3.5 horsepower, 9.5 CFM at 90 PSI air compressor. I got a little respirator and a set of goggles that seal around my eyes that will give me swamp ass space for the remainder of the day, and my hair will look like trash after this. And I'm going to stick you guys on my tripod far, 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 far away so I get no dust on it. Aside from having mild swamp ass space, I think this is gonna work. So I went through an entire hopper worth of soda in about a minute. I had the volume, I guess, of the soda flow turned up a little high, but as you can see, it does a phenomenal job. A lot better than the other blaster, the $99 one I had. I don't think I need the foil tape. You can see what it does to the foil. I don't think I need the foil tape on the machine surfaces. I think it's fine. So I'm just gonna get a big bag of soda and go through it really quick. Oh man, I really don't want to have to carry this. This thing's super heavy. This sucks. This really is not good. I don't like this. Since I'm already, ow, that's my knee. Since I'm already covered in shit and miserable, I'm gonna do the timing cover. So next day, I'm getting to a late start because I had a pretty sleepless night last night because I managed to somehow still get a tiny bit of baking soda in my eyes despite wearing goggles that sealed around my eye and a complete respirator. So I woke up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and 6 a.m. with like a concrete mixture of baking soda and sleepy crud and eye boogers. And my eyes burnt like crazy when I woke up. Same with my forehead. This box right here is something that was kind of hard to find because it's an OEM Ford part. Basically, moral of the story, baking soda is great for your hair, not for your eyeballs. Because my hair is fantastic today, might I add. So there was a benefit to all that. And drop. Jeez, man, no gunk in there. Absolutely zero gunk. There's like zero gunk. Look at that. It's absolutely spotless on the bottom half of this engine. The pickup screen, also super, super clean. That rhymed. Oof. Yeah. Brand new OEM part. There you go. Brand new OEM Ford oil pan. No corrosion. The reason why I took this off now when I don't have the hardware back from zinc coating is because I wanted to get a good visual underneath here, especially on the pickup tube and the screen under here, and just make sure there wasn't any other parts that I needed to order. Just, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm trying to be methodic about this to make sure I don't delay videos because I'm waiting on parts. Put like 2 bolts in here to hold it in place. If you think peeling sunburn is fun, you should try peeling this. If you're gonna do this, peel it when it's wet. I don't know why I didn't peel these off when it was wet. I literally looked at them and was like, I should peel this off now. And I didn't do it because I got distracted with filming. Valve cover time. Wow, that's a fresh gasket. Someone just changed that. Hello, telephone. Valve cover off. Oop, off. There you go. Like brand new. So crazy. There's no sludge buildup in here at all. So I got a tech tip for you. This is something I was mildly obsessed with doing when I was in the Air Force, and I haven't done it since I got out. I don't know why. But when you remove something to facilitate other maintenance, that just made someone laugh. Use tin foil to cover stuff up. It's really easy at molding around areas. And also make sure you tear a big enough piece, like I just didn't do. There you go. Just in case you were wondering, the studs that hold the fuel rail on are E7s. I'd be careful taking these injectors out because they do not make them anymore. And I don't want to put aftermarket ones if I don't have to. There we go. Pull the rags out of there. Unfortunately, the fuel rail in my Graham's truck's got really heavy corrosion on there. The one from the parts truck looks perfect, so I'm just gonna clean this one up and use this fuel rail instead. Since I still have daylight, I'm gonna paint these now. The amount of corrosion that was on this valve cover is bad. It's really bad. Down along the surface where the bolts go. I have to rust convert it before I can paint these, which means they gotta sit for 48 hours. The other side wasn't nearly as bad. There's really only like 2 little spots that had rust, but the wire wheel took care of most of it. Either way, I don't want to half-ass this. I gotta put some rust converter on those spots before I can paint these. Good morning. It is now day number 3 in this video. I am waiting on the hardware. It should be ready today from the zinc plater. So I'm just gonna shut up and get to work. Genuine Ford. Paper! Motorcraft! 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 That's a pretty dope looking 4Runner. James Toyota built with Rock Auto parts. Cute. Aside from the hoses and the belts, every single part I'm putting on this truck is a genuine Ford Motorcraft part. So it's OEM. Interesting. Looks like this gasket was changed not too long ago. Well, I guess it's gonna get changed again. So based on all of your recommendations, I picked up a jug of this stuff. Bright. So I'm gonna give it a shot since you suggested it and see what it can do to those parts that I soda blasted. Carefully. Oh! A little bit. It cleaned up some of the carbon deposits that was on there. It didn't really do much in terms of brightening up the metal, but it looks cleaner, I guess. I would say that most of the work is accredited to the soda blaster, but it did help a little bit, especially on the inside of the intake runners, of getting any more carbon that was in there out. Now there's one more thing I gotta do. Since this came off the truck from the junkyard, you can see inside the fuel rail, there's some like scratches right here, as well as right here. Almost like someone tried pulling up with a set of pliers or something at one point in time. So I'm gonna take the Dremel to it and see what I can do. Not obviously with the Waffle of Doom disc. That's a good name for this, Waffle of Doom. Since Charlie's picking up my hardware at the zinc coater right now, I'm going to go ahead and use my tech data, factory service manual, and get things ready to start putting this engine together. Hardware!
Come bearing many hardwares.
Hardwares! Look at that hardware! That looks so mint. Oh, my bumper?
Well, no, this is the original one.
Oh.
The rusty one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's got a big dent in it now.
I had that.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing was garbage. I got a different style gasket than what was on there. These ones are the metal impregnated ones. That sounds really weird and gross. Robots have to have babies too, I guess. A little blob right here, blob right there. I'm gonna lift up the gasket just to kind of get a little bit up underneath it as well. That way it's on both sides of the gasket. There we go. Some RTV down here for the end strips. Just when I think I got enough RTV, down inside that valley, you gotta add more. Right there, that's where you gotta put an enormous amount of RTV, as silly as that sounds. This is like not a very efficient design, I feel. Like having to put this much RTV. And someone is gonna comment and be like, that's not how you do it. Yeah, it is. It literally says to do this in the service manual. And that's how the old one was too. It's crazy. Anyway. Big ass blob. Hardware, fresh back from the zinc coater. Got these done in the black iron oxide finish. And there is a specific pattern to tightening these, which I will now show you. It's just my luck that my digital torque wrench batteries would die right when I'm trying to do this. So I gotta go through a sequence of tightening and then redoing it again and then redoing it again. 21 Newton meters, which is, sheesh, that's almost the top of this range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As much as I want to keep going forward and install the fuel rail, I ran into a bit of a issue with the injectors, so that's gonna have to happen into the next video. I'm not even gonna bother filming the rest of what I was just doing, but I was cleaning up these injectors, and you can see right here the metal on this injector is just deteriorating because it was all rusty, and they're just in a sad state, and they're discontinued. They're manufactured by Bosch for Ford, but I can't get new ones. I don't want to put cheap aftermarket ones on there, and the other injectors are even worse. Timing just was not on my side with this video. I thought I was gonna have the hardware yesterday, but I forgot the fact that they were closed yesterday, so I got a lot less put together than I thought I was going to in this video, and it really sucks. I wanted to have it like pretty much all bolted together for you guys. At least you're starting to get an idea of what it's looking like. Before I go home tonight, I'm gonna just put the RTV on this pan and seal the pan up. That way you don't have to see it in the next video. But yeah, I guess tomorrow I'll paint the valve covers, since I've had that stuff sitting on them now for over 24 hours. It'll be 48 hours tomorrow, so then I can paint them. And I can literally just assemble 99% of this engine. I have all the hardware now. I got all the gaskets here. So I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the injectors. Anyway, on that note, I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye.